theater 15 times.
Are you a musical guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Brush Up Your Shakespeare from Kiss Me Kate because Deb's cousin is in it, and it's such a funny There's two guys are telling this guy, you got to quote Shakespeare if you want to go with the ladies, and they tap dance. It's like that interaction would just never happen anywhere in life.
You ever see the movie Kiss Me, Kate?
No.
It's really good.
Oh, it's good?
Yeah, but
what's it about?
Bob Fosse's in it. Something about the theater, and there's gangsters in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those the guys that are telling him to quote Shakespeare?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. If you want a girl to touch your wiener, you gotta talk like...
I just saw West Side Story.
That's a good musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelby I didn't realize it at first, but Shelby pointed out most of them were in blackface.
Oh, they were? Oh,
yeah,
like
there's like
brown
one
face.
black
To be
guy.
Puerto Rican?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that was before Puerto Ricans were interested in acting.
Natalie Wood was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got murdered, right?
It's a shame that you can't play outside your race anymore. I mean, they should at least do it with, like, I don't know, minorities. They
Did we
should have
start yet?
minorities play
No.
white people.
I
No.
started recording, but I don't know
Okay.
when or
All
how
right.
you want to
Put
intro.
the song on.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Today, we're talking about two great men. Men who inspired, men who made us strive for more, men who showed us how to live our lives. Two men with parallels. Two men named John. Welcome to the sit down.
I got chills, they're multiplying. And I'm blue.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's your buddy Mike Recine, and we have a very special episode for you. We're talking about, like I said, two great men named John. Travolta, number one,
Number one.
and Gotti. And who else to be here besides a good friend of ours, an expert probably on both guys. Hey, Frankie T's back, everybody.
Welcome
Back
back.
by popular demand.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thanks for being here,
Talking
Frank.
about two guys. I know you guys are goofing around, but both of these guys are my heroes.
Yeah.
Travolta and Gotti. I love them both.
Yeah.
Matt, where do you stand on these two guys?
Well, I mean,
You just found out about them, that they exist?
yeah, I mean, they're both New York guys, right?
No.
Well, you know,
Travolta's not
Gotti.
He's
New
already
York?
made an error.
Yeah.
Stop looking at the notes.
No,
John Travolta's from Jersey.
Travolta he was born in Jersey.
Yeah.
And then like Gotti was born
Where in
in
Jersey?
the Bronx,
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It
Inglewood.
doesn't matter. Oh,
Well, it
yeah,
is kind of funny because there are a lot of parallels between these two guys.
I guess.
You know,
Yeah, they both rose to fame.
their names are John.
They were both super.
charismatic.
I mean,
Right.
John. There's been a lot of movie stars over the years. There's been like I don't know, George Clooney. Who you want to say? Leonardo DiCaprio. But you can't imagine the level of stardom that John Travolta exploded. Like when he came out, he was on a
In the
sitcom.
70s?
And this was nowadays you do a sitcom, then you get into movies. It's very normal.
Right.
In the 70s, it was like you did TV. That was it. They didn't accept you.
It was like,
Yeah.
Henry Winkler never did movies really.
yeah.
But fucking Travolta did Welcome Back, Kotter. Then he did Saturday Night Fever, which
Didn't that bring back disco? Like it was on its way out.
right, and it brought it back.
That's insane.
Then on the heels, and right after Saturday Night Fever, he does Grease.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was like the 1-2 punch. It was like it's like when he was filming Saturday Night Fever in Bay Ridge, it was a mob scene, and that was an independent film. They didn't have money for like trails and shit.
Well, it's so funny. I was watching the intro to Saturday Night Fever, and first of all, the intro is like 3 minutes long. You would never have that in a film today, but it really does. Just like if you showed this to someone, like as the movie you were making, they'd be like, "This looks like shit. What the fuck are you doing?" Because it's just him walking around holding a can of paint,
Checking out
and
girls,
Staying Alive is playing.
checking out booties.
Yeah.
I like the second one he checks out.
What?
The second girl he checks out in Saturday Night Fever. Like the first one was all right. The second one was fucking ridiculous.
What did she
I
look
remember
like
when that
on
movie first came out, my uncle was like, "Did you get a look at the second girl he checks out? The one in the brown dress, spot on."
So you saw it in theaters?
Yeah, I still go see it in theaters every time. It was at BAM 2 years ago.
Oh, was it?
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I was there.
How old were you when it came out?
10.
Okay. Because I mean, I haven't seen Saturday Night Fever. This episode's kind of thrown together, folks. I got we had some stuff going on.
You never
but
saw Saturday Night Fever?
never saw Saturday Night Fever, but I watched some clips. I watched the
Right.
intro, and
It's such a good movie.
yeah,
You know, a lot of people look at it as like this artifact and like time capsule and musical, whatever. But you take the music out of the movie, you still got a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
And Travolta was so fucking good in it.
Yeah.
It was like a Marlon Brando-esque performance. That's how good he was in the movie.
Yeah.
So good.
What is it that's special about that movie? I mean, like what like
Well, it's about a guy. Well, I relate to it because like as I was practically am that guy because I went to discos, but
Yeah.
and you know he was in a family that was hypercritical and they just wanted him to get a fucking job,
right.
And all his friends were a bunch of losers.
So I did watch a couple clips, and the one clip that I watched was he's sitting down at dinner with his family, and they're smacking each other.
Yeah. That was totally real. It was like fucking so realistic.
Yeah.
He comes home, they're like, "You're late." Like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, but it's like he wanted to do something different, and like you know, I remember growing up, I wanted to do something. I was really into stand-up comedy and dancing and music and DJing and acting. But if you wanted to do something like that, they would be like, "What are you, a fruit?"
Yeah.
You know, join the union. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Union job. Yeah.
And that movie, that's what that movie was about.
Right.
Yeah.
But it really, everybody related to that movie because even you didn't have to be Italian, you didn't have to be from Brooklyn. So many people related to that story.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what's funny to me, Frank. It does kind of feel like there is a correlation between the mob and what we do because it is kind of like a way out of the sort of like mundaneness of life.
Yeah, and all the kiss asses go forward.
Yeah.
Same thing. That's
in the
why
mob,
I can't.
wait, in the mob too?
Oh, what are you kidding me?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, so many of my friends were so impressed with gangsters, and they would just fucking hang around and kiss up to me. It used to make me sick.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm around the comedy scene and I see people doing it, I'm like, you know, I didn't do it to become a gangster. I'm not going to do it to become a comic.
Right.
I don't kiss nobody's ass.
Right.
You
So
know
I
what
guess
mean?
gangsters kind of have that same insecurity where it's like they want to be loved. They want.
Yeah, they love all these kids kissing their ass.
Yeah.
And fucking whatever. Headliners, you love it when Hope and Mike kiss your ass. Don't
Oh, I
fucking lie.
love it. It's amazing. and actually, like I have met. I mean, there's a guy. I don't want to say his name, but this guy is like an Olympic level ass kisser because he knows exactly. Because I am sort of at a point where like some people will kiss my ass a little bit, and it's like, yeah, it does feel good, and some people just know how to kiss your ass in the way. It's almost
Right
like
on
they
your asshole.
right on your asshole. They
Yeah.
play to your specific insecurity, you know.
You know what?
And like
It's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
It's true. They're fucking. I hate it. We call them climbers. Me and Conrad Roth were always fucking.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
we're like the tag team bitching about people.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm nobody, right? But I'm a little popular.
Yeah.
So like sometimes when somebody new comes in the scene, they're like, oh, they think that like I'm somebody they should be
You
nice
can
to.
help 'em.
And then when they realize I'm just a self-sabotaging psycho, they're like, they move
Yeah,
right
I know.
off. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought Frank was somebody I should be nice to.
I'm
And then-
running the show in Brooklyn right now, and I tried to get Frank on it like 2 weeks in a row. I'm like, "Can you do a spot?" The first week, he's like, "No, I can't. I'm sick." The next one, I'm like,
I was
Frank,
sick.
Come
I was
by
sick.
and do a spot. You said I'm kind of sick,
I-
which is
I-
like it doesn't sound like you were sick enough to miss a spot.
I
But-
was
but
sick,
whatever.
and I also that night
Yeah.
I lost my joke book and I was in a tizzy.
Mhm.
That's a true story.
That's fair.
Okay.
And then the second time, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I went on Google Maps. I saw it's going to take me an hour and 20 minutes to get home from there.
Oh yeah, it's a little in the middle of nowhere. In
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
where
yeah.
Where,
is
where
that?
do you live now? You're in Ridgewood.
I live in Elmhurst, Queens. Honestly, how many
Oh,
people come to that fucking show? I don't mean to shit on your show. I'm sure it's
no,
good.
it's okay. I mean, it's new. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's not. It's all right.
You know what? I'm just I appreciate
but
that. I
get it.
appreciate
get
that you
it.
want to
I
book
get
me.
it. Yeah.
You know, I don't get booked a lot. But you know what? I'm so sick of bar shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who the fuck am I to be sick of bar shows, right? But I'm fucking sick of them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They do feel like a dead end after
I'd
a
rather
while.
just do a 6 o'clock mic and go home.
Yeah.
You know, I accomplish what I need to accomplish. I try out a new joke or polish up a new joke.
You lost your notebook. My fucking laptop got stolen off an airplane on
Yeah.
Jesus.
How did that happen?
Do you have your jokes in several different places?
I do, but you know, I don't write anything. See, like to me, losing a joke book wouldn't be that big of a deal because I try to like write stuff and just put it behind me and I forget about it.
No.
I don't go back and look at stuff. I don't.
Yeah, well,
have
I've
that
never
relationship
I've
with my
never
work.
done a comedy special, so I don't have anything cataloged. No, I have 47.
Yeah,
you know,
catalog. It's in the Comedy Central archive.
I
Somewhere.
found my joke
It's in the
book.
fucking vault. No one's gonna see it.
No, but
Yeah.
I found my joke book and I sat down for 4 days and wrote out my jokes word for word on cue cards.
But my thing is that when you write something you like, you're gonna remember it, aren't
yeah,
you?
I lost. If I lost something, if I memory wise, I feel like it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And
That's how I feel,
I
too.
threw out a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that just wasn't well written from 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But I have 47 jokes that I'm happy with.
Okay.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
For 7 years doing comedy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it more depends on the time that you have, the time you can fill.
And I was telling Matt, I got a couple of jokes where I say faggot. So obviously I can't do all of them in one set.
Right.
I can't say faggot 4 times.
Right.
You can only say it once.
You can only, yeah. I mean, I have those jokes too, where it's like it's about the same stuff.
Yeah.
I tried to do this joke last night, and like, it's about the N word and how like you can't say it in any context, which is good, but it's weird having a word that can just ruin your life, like so easily. You can just everything can go away. It's almost like someone being like, "Oh, there's a bomb attached to your neck, and there's a detonator in your pocket, so don't push that button." Like it would be all you could think about.
Yeah.
So
You know
it's
what,
Why don't you
what you're
recognize
saying
my why don't you
is all
recognize
can
my
think-
struggle because I want to say it so badly.
I like your I like a lot of your jokes, but what I like about your writing style is they're long. I wish I could write a joke that long. You have some jokes that are fucking long. I don't have any long jokes. My jokes are like at the most a minute and 30 seconds.
Well, it's just a matter of like, you know, if you have to be on stage for a long time, you figure out
I'm not-
but I think people just do that out of necessity. You know, they need you know.
I like the
tags and
joke
shit like
about
that. Anyway.
where you get the black lady to be confrontational.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That joke only has a couple tags though. But anyway,
I got a new joke about trolling on Grindr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's been getting a huge pop.
Wait, so you have a Grindr profile?
I was on a kick.
Yeah.
Where I went on there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, sometimes when I get lonely, I go on Grindr just for the compliments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me tell you something. These faggots love me. Takes
But
me.
that's the same, almost the same as your gay porn joke.
Yeah, I got like 3 jokes. I got a lot of homoerotic material.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
think that's what's
color code
funny
these
because
cards.
I'm not homophobic, and that's funny that I'm not homophobic.
Right.
You know, like when Dice did gay jokes, he was like, "Ew, that's disgusting." But
Yeah.
nowadays, you don't come at it from that point of view.
Right.
It's not funny to
It's
be.
not even that disgusting, really.
No, it's not.
You get so
Especially if they're
desensitized to
18
it,
years old and they
living
have
here.
0 body hair. No, but
They almost look like women. It's almost like watching 2 cats lick each other.
no, but it's not funny.
And the only reason I'm hard is because
you know what comedian?
Lick each other.
You know what
2
comedian?
Siamese cats.
Oh man.
You know what comic really aged
appreciate that.
badly? Sam Kinison. Because
yeah,
he
for sure.
he was really hateful.
Yeah.
And like when you try to watch, he really hated black people and he really hated women and he really hated gay people.
Yeah.
So his stuff is not funny
Yeah.
at all. I think Dice
You
is
know,
more cartoony.
I feel exactly the same way. I listen to his stuff and I'm like, how does anybody?
There was nothing playful about it. There was nothing.
Playful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this guy. What else do we have to do to help this guy out? You know?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a liberal
It ain't
president.
over till it's over, right?
No,
We 100% need a liberal president.
We need a liberal president. The other night I was at a mic. I was like, I haven't been booked since Trump got elected. I said, throw a chick in there. I'll vote for her.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Just throw her in there. I don't care who you elect.
Yeah.
Mrs. Garrett from the Facts of Life. Give her the fucking
Yeah,
job.
don't tell Hillary.
So let's get back to our theme a little bit. So the theme of the show is Gotti and Travolta, Frank's 2 heroes. Now, we were talking about Saturday Night Fever a little bit. So like what is it about that movie? Because I was watching that movie. What is it about that movie and that story that's so iconic and that you
I get
like
so
much?
choked up when I watch it. I've seen it 40 times and I can watch it right now. There's certain movies I can't watch anymore. I can't watch Goodfellas anymore for some reason.
Why?
Something about that movie. It's like a docudrama. It's just once you've seen it, it's like I can't watch it anymore. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
But I could watch Saturday Night Fever
Also, I
over
think I've seen
and
it.
over.
I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
But that painting got you.
I love the painting.
You had a good memory.
And this guy's saying, "What do you want from me?" I love Joe Pesci. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
But Saturday Night Fever is just like I've never identified with a character. There's certain characters I really identify with, like Tony Manero in Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
I just see myself in him so much.
Right.
Do you have a movie like that where you see yourself?
Maybe like Taxi Driver.
Oh, that's
Travis Bickle. Yeah.
Sure.
But what's funny about that movie is like it really does kind of show you like what's important in life and what like who to be. Like even though this guy's like technically a loser, he works at a paint shop. He's still like he's not a loser because he's like a good dude.
He's still
like
the
an honest
character is
guy.
19 years old.
Uh-huh.
You know, he has time to evolve.
Yeah.
Do you know any 19-year-olds that are men yet? I mean, you know, he's not a man yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
there's a scene in that movie that really it's the scene because he has a crush on the older girl who just thinks he's a Jake Jerko from Brooklyn. She's trying to keep it at a distance.
Yeah.
And then
She's older than him.
she's older than him.
Yeah.
And they're sitting at the Verrazano, and he's just talking about how everything he knows about the Verrazano. He's like an idiot savant about the Verrazano. So he's like, somebody died in there. They jumped and they fell, which is just a made up story for the movie. But he's like, somebody jumped and they fell into the cement. He's like, it's 100 centimeters. Like he's describing the bridge, and she's looking at him like she never looked at him before, and she kisses him on his temple, and he gets choked up. And that scene grabs me, and that's the scene where she finally sees him. Like, this guy's not a jerk off. This guy's a sensitive man.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because in real life, his girlfriend had just died from cancer, John Travolta.
Really?
And he was dating a much older woman, 25 years older, I believe. And she was like a mentor to him, and she died from cancer. He flew out to LA for the funeral, flew back, shot that scene, and all the emotion was raw. It was on the I noticed because I read everything about Travolta. And when that girl kisses him on the temple, his eyes well up, and they get like a close up. And it's such a fucking moving scene.
Really?
Could you imagine if bridge knowledge got you girls today? That doesn't.
Well, you
meet a nice autistic girl,
No, you know how when girls are starting to like you.
56
The
people
Verrazano
died
was built in-
building the
yeah, it was built in-
bridge.
Wait, the Verrazano was built in 68, right? Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was
No,
built
way
in
before that.
68.
It was built in the 50s.
No, I think it was 68.
No, it was the 50s.
All right, we'll figure that out. But it's just weird that there was no way to get to Brooklyn before that.
You had to take a boat.
Right? There was a boat from Staten Island to Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think that many people lived on Staten Island until the bridge was built.
Oh, okay.
But like when a girl's starting to dig you, they think everything you say is amazing.
Yeah.
So suddenly you're the most interesting person in the world to them because they're falling in love with you. Once you finally get them to fall in love with you, they look at you like you're the fucking greatest thing ever, and then they get tired of you, and then they like everything you say is annoying.
Are you
Then
knowledgeable?
Cut to 3 years later, and they're being like, "Stop moving furniture. You're a fucking loser."
You ever see the movie Two Family House with Michael Rispoli?
No.
So his wife is Catherine Narducci, and she goes, "You're a monkey." He goes, "Oh yeah, well you fell in love with me." So who's stupider, the monkey or the person who falls in love with the monkey?
Frank, are you knowledgeable like that in anything where you could impress a woman just knowing facts about anything?
Yeah, I know a lot of facts about popular culture and stuff,
I mean, like, interesting. Okay.
like movies and music.
Yeah, but I mean, like in one particular subject, like, could you impress a woman, at maybe like the Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty?
No, not there.
Okay. I don't know.
I know a lot about New York City, though. I know a lot about New York City, though.
Okay.
But if he shows a girl his Grindr profile,
I delete it every time I open it. I start getting.
You have to delete it.
It's overwhelming how many messages I get.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You don't
I
want
go
the
on.
temptation
I go
of
on
stay.
heterosexual dating sites.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
no yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Right.
this bit. I was like, girls ask different questions. Girls will be like, "What do you do? What are you looking for?" Guys are like, "You come a lot."
Also, you can't really give a guy a compliment because then he's gonna take it. Like
They make
this
me
girl's
feel like
trying
a
to
movie
fuck.
star.
Yeah.
They're like, "How long did it take
Yeah.
you to get a body like that?" I'm like, "Well, it's a lot of work." Girls aren't superficial. If you post a picture of yourself shirtless, girls think it's douchey. They'll ignore your profile. Not guys. They love that shit. They think it's fantastic.
Gays and blacks are very good at that game. I was at the airport this weekend, and this lady went through TSA, and the guy asked her some questions. He was like, "Oh, I like your shoes," and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm Marcus, by the way," and she's like, "Nice to meet you," and they just kind of had this nice, flirty moment. She walked away. I don't think they smashed, but it was nice.
You could feel that they might
Putting
have.
yourself out there,
Yeah.
It's like masculinity is being looked down upon these days.
Yeah.
Somebody in the Metro newspaper wrote a review about Gotti, and we know it's not a good movie. We knew it wasn't going to be good. It wasn't well crafted or anything. That's fine. But they attacked Kevin Connolly, and they're like, Kevin Connolly of that cesspool Entourage. Why is Entourage a cesspool? Entourage was an appointment viewing for so many millions of people. That show was a fantastic show. Why is it a cesspool? Because
Now,
it's about
I haven't seen Entourage in a while, but do you think maybe it was kind of dumb and basic and
No.
it's about
It's just an easy target.
We're gonna have them get in the mansion and fuck the girls and
So what? Well, who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah.
I want a mansion. I want to fuck girls.
yeah. Well, let me ask you a little bit about Gotti, Frank, because I did Chapo Trap House a few weeks ago. I went to see the Gotti movie with a couple of those guys. I mean, yeah, it was fun.
I was
It was
supposed
a
to
bad
go.
movie. I know. I wanted you to meet those guys.
Well, why do you want me to meet those guys? Aren't they like
think
liberal
you would.
faggots? What are
Yeah,
they?
you could say that.
Are they the kind of guys that call everybody toxic? Are they like that?
No,
No.
they're more like I guess they're like Bernie bros.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
They're like farther left.
Yeah, you pay more
Dem
taxes
socks,
and you
Democratic Social. You
like,
get healthcare.
healthcare.
I got
wars
healthcare.
and stuff. Yeah. From
Medicaid.
who? Oh, okay.
I don't know why
Medic-
everybody shit on Bush for years. I was fine under Bush. I'm fine under Trump.
The Iraq War.
Oh,
That didn't affect my life.
Trump just Trump just like fucked up the last 2 days pretty
A
hard.
million dead Iraqis. Yeah, but who cares?
What is it?
right?
What is it?
Yeah,
Dead?
no, you're
how
right.
how is my life affected by dead Iraqis?
Well, it's probably bad to kill other people.
Right, but what does that have to do with me?
Well, I don't know, but shouldn't we care about the world and others?
I care about me.
Mm-hmm.
I got one foot in the street. You know who worries about all this shit?
The premise is though that the
Listen,
Iraqis.
you know who cares
not wanna
about
kill
all this
us, too,
political?
you know?
Who cares about political shit? People who are fine financially. So they're like, I got no fucking problems. So now let me go be a bleeding heart cocksucker.
Yeah.
I got no time to worry about other people. I'm worried about myself.
Excellent point.
Right.
I can't even afford to fucking clean out my Amazon cart.
But it's not good to start wars.
Who start wars? We're
It's
fucking.
not good
They
to
start with
start
us.
wars.
They start with us.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they're always starting with us.
We do it first.
We do not. So you such a. What? Okay, I like Trump had to sit down with that Chinese guy.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't see Obama doing that.
You mean Kim Jong Un?
Yeah, you had to sit down with him.
That Chinese guy.
I didn't see Obama
I
doing
didn't
it.
even realize he meant North Korea.
Whatever he is.
Oh man,
I didn't see Obama having to
Hell
sit down with the
yeah.
Chinese guy. Did Obama have to sit
No,
down
he
with the
didn't.
Chinese guy?
Yeah,
No,
we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to acknowledge China. It's like a republic or whatever because of Taiwan.
You know,
No,
you know what?
no.
We're not at war currently. Everybody wants to say. As soon as you say Trump, people get upset. I'm like, why? You feel like you're supposed to? Because the news says you're supposed to? Because the news is biased?
Right.
I'm not conservative, but I give him I give every president a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's the president, I support him.
Yeah, but he hasn't done well for your comedy career.
Yeah, only because this is what it is.
There we go.
Trump is.
Now we're making
Everybody needs
Yeah,
to
so
chill.
it has affected your life
It has affected my life.
because guys like
Negative,
us can't
quite
even
negatively.
Yeah, but
Can't
the
even say-
media is a bunch of alarmists.
Mhm.
The liberals are a bunch of alarmists, and Trump is a fucking psycho. So it's like everybody together needs to chill out. Trump needs to chill out. He needs to stop saying fucking shit that upsets these fucking
What
people.
about the Mexican kids in cages though?
Are they in cages?
Yeah.
How do you know? How do you know they're not having Chinese food?
Yeah,
They might be
dude,
playing.
there's a set
they
with
probably get.
crisis actors.
How do you know they're not having fun? They probably say here. They probably
How do
gave
you
him.
know
They
they're
probably
not
gave him.
having
They
fun?
probably gave him Chinese food, etch a sketches. They're having the best time.
To be away from their parents.
Oh yeah,
hey.
sleeping in the bathtub with their cousin. Fuck out of here. You think Mexicans are having cushy lives that they're taken away from?
Oh my god.
Whatever.
Yeah, did you see the
Hey.
soccer fields down
No parents.
these
Yeah.
detention centers?
You know what? If you're here illegally, the key word is illegally.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Nobody should be here illegally. My family didn't come here illegally. They got here. They came here. 'Cause
Every Italian came here.
my family did not come here
without
illegally.
Yeah, but there weren't
WAP,
any.
right?
Yeah, WAP is
No.
without papers.
They came here. No, not my family. My family came here to work.
My family came here on a golden ravioli boat.
Whatever. They came here because there was work for them.
All right, all right.
But there's work for Mexicans.
What? Fetching olive oil?
Well, obviously they're coming here if there's work. Obviously they're coming here, right? If they're coming here, there's jobs.
My family
You
came
don't
here to
go
build.
places
My
with no
family
jobs.
came here to build the city.
And they're coming here to you know,
To fetch olive oil.
yeah, to drive you around.
Do me a favor when you get a chance. Another Diet Coke.
All right.
What'd you ask me before? Something about Travolta?
Well, let's talk about Gotti for a little bit.
I had a
since this
question
is-
about Travolta and
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever.
Mhm.
So he was really good at dancing, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you guys get good at? It seems like all Italians are good at dancing. Would you characterize that as correct?
You just got to move your hips,
It's part of the.
right?
How do you practice without being called names by your friends?
Well, you
Well, you know what's interesting? The disco scene was half Italian American and half gay.
so all
That
so
seems
all
like-
gay.
Seems like
If you
an
went to a
unlikely
nightclub,
pairing.
if you went to a nightclub in the 70s, half the club was Italian kids from Brooklyn, the other half was homosexuals.
and you got along.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a normal pairing.
Well, we both like disco. I still like disco. I still collect it on vinyl.
Right.
It's great music
Yeah.
How did you learn how to dance?
from watching people. And I just imitate. Same thing with comedy. I went to the open mic or whatever. I watched, Dice and Sarah Silverman. I imitate them. You get better, and then you get better.
Well, there is a weird thing with Italians now, or not now, but there is kind of always that conflict where it's like, do we assimilate and identify with white people, or do we like maintain our culture?
That has
And it-
happened. Most Italians.
Because
You're
white
really
culture-
into being a Ginzo, But most Italians, they forget about they're embarrassed about it. You know, like there's some black people like that. They're elitist and they don't do well in urban rooms because
Like
they sound white.
Yeah.
And they want to assimilate and be just a regular guy. And they look down on people who sound hood or whatever.
Mhm.
I see black people hating on their own kind. I see Italian people hating on their own kind. I see Hispanics hating on their own kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like white Anglo-Saxon culture, it is pretty like boring. And there's nothing really great about it.
Yeah.
But I guess people do try to assimilate and
they had an award show
in order
one
to-
year, the Italian American Awards,
Mhm.
and they gave the lifetime achievement to Alan Alda.
They did.
Yeah, and they never
Is
had
he
a second
Italian?
one because Italians just want to be white.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we don't want this. But
The Italian American Awards. When did that
Why
happen?
did
In
they
the
give it to
70s.
Alan Alda?
because he's a great Italian American.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
great. He's a great actor, writer.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad there wasn't a second one.
Yeah, they didn't have a second one. You know who won an award? They gave him Italian American of the Year, James Caan.
Yeah.
And he's Jewish.
He's Jewish.
It's so funny. I love James Caan.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
All right, so anyway, I did Chapo. We were talking about the Gotti movie, and it's like, yeah, they were like shitting on the movie, but then they were also shitting on like Gotti, the man, you know. And think you
I
told me
listened to that
you
episode. I had to shut it off
Yeah.
because I felt like they were being disrespectful.
Yes.
And you could tell them I said that.
What specifically rubbed you?
First of
the
all,
wrong
neither
way?
one are they comedians?
Yeah, they're funny guys.
Do they do stand up?
No.
I could tell.
No,
They're trying to be funny.
they do
and-
politics
and,
and
and,
Twitter.
and they should
and
leave that to
both
people who
really
actually
well.
are funny.
Yeah.
No, they were just shitting on Gotti and
Uh-huh.
shitting on doing whatever. I don't like that. I like Gotti.
Mm.
Yeah. There is something kind of like, I mean, because Gotti, so when Gotti was, let's go back to Gotti's early life. He was a young guy. His father was a day laborer. There were 13 kids in his family. He resented his father because his father couldn't like provide. And I think that is like a fundamental part of who he is. And it's kind of the same thing as Travolta's character in Saturday Night Fever, where it's like, yeah, you're like a nobody.
His
And it's
father
like,
was
what
out
do
of
you-
work.
Yeah, his father. So like, what do you do with that?
There's a scene in Saturday Night Fever where he gets a $1 raise,
Uh-huh.
a $2
I was
raise,
watching that too.
and his father goes,
Now that's technically that's a week. Or
"No, I don't know if I don't really know what it was."
because I'm going to give you $2.50.
But in the '80s, I was making $125 a week,
yeah,
and then the guy gave me a $25 a week raise, and I felt it.
yeah,
$25 a week in 1983 was a lot of money.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was $2. But he tells his father about it. And his father's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me? How much is it?" He's like, $2. He's like, $2. He goes, I never saw somebody so happy about a $2 raise. What the fuck is the matter with you? His father was just a fucking like that. And my father's like that. My grandfather was like that. Even though I love my grandfather, they would just like mentally fuck you. You know, they were both like fucking like very mentally abusive guys.
Uh-huh.
Italian Americans are like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They always resent their
Why
kid.
is that? Why is that?
I don't know. I think my father and my grandfather were jealous about how much attention their wives gave me.
Uh-huh.
Like my mother and my grandmother treated me like I was a king,
Yeah.
and I don't think they like that.
Yeah.
Would you say that they made you as tough as you are now?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But my grandfather definitely.
So that seems like an Italian form of love.
What were their personalities like? Were they charismatic like you, or were they
My
more
father
kinda
isn't,
like,
but
yeah.
my
My
grandfather
dad's
was.
not really either. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather was a mason for the transit authority.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a great guy. I liked him a lot.
Good union job.
What?
Good union job.
Yeah, he used to bring home the Chief every Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what that is? The newspaper, the Chief.
No.
It lists all the jobs for the city that you could take the test.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, he still want me to take the test of the guy who works in the booth in the transit authority. I said, you want me to just sit in the booth? He goes,
Yeah.
that's a good job. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They make a lot of money.
I was like, I want to be a DJ, Poppy. He's like, DJ. He's going to be a DJ. You listen to this guy.
That's kind
What
of
do you think you're better than us? Yeah.
That's the funny thing, just having like a union job like that. I can't imagine living your life that way and just being like, oh, I get it in the
What's that
morning.
noise?
The AC.
But it's going to come on the podcast,
Turn it
no?
off. Hold on a second.
No, it's not. It's not like
There's a
noticeable.
switch on this AC called it says money saver. Yes, no, and it just switched on.
Yeah,
I had it on.
Yes.
that's the
Anyway,
juice switch.
Hold on. Yeah, get them.
All right.
What about the Mexican kids in cages? I don't care. They're probably having a good time.
I doubt they're having a bad time.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway, so there's a story about Gotti where he robbed that guy Willie Boy Johnson. He robbed his warehouse, and then Willie Boy was looking for him, and he came with a gun, and he was like, "I heard you looking for him." He's like, "I'll put 2 fucking bullets in your head right now," and that's when he knew he was like the real deal.
Yeah.
And I think, you have to admire something like that about somebody. It seems like he sort of had it in him to be this person, and he was going to do it no matter what, and he wasn't afraid of anything. He wasn't afraid of death, which seems like a characteristic that you need.
He made it to the top. I mean, with charisma and balls and brains.
Mm-hmm.
He had, there's a lot of guys that grew up with.
CBB.
There's a lot of guys that grew up with. Some of them had the balls, and some of them had the brains. But Gotti had both.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it like timing too? Wasn't it just like really well timed?
Yeah. I mean, if Neil Dellacroce hadn't died, right? He probably, or if he had been the boss, Gotti might not have been the boss.
Yeah, that would have been better for him.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody goes to jail. I mean, they all go to jail.
There's going to all be opportunities to climb.
I mean, I knew guys that were really, really, really older in the 80s, and they were like either put on the shelf or retired, and they were comfortable. And I saw a lot of guys retire and die from natural causes, but that seldomly happened after that. Like once the RICO thing came into place, you saw less and less of that. Like I knew my friend, his grandfather was a retired gangster, retired guy, and he just whatever, he retired, but you saw less and less of that as the 90s came on, and then. I mean, it's from what I understand, it's all decimated.
Yeah,
the whole entire mob.
Yeah. Yep, the good old days. Now you mentioned Gotti had brains. What specifically about him made him like a smart guy?
Well, it's not hard to be smarter than everybody else because a lot of them are fucking morons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody could pull a fucking trigger. Anybody could fucking have balls to do something.
It's hard to be smart and confident and have the balls.
He just intimidated everybody, everybody, and he got the reputation. He wasn't the only one in New York City who had that kind of reputation. You talked about a lot of guys on the show like Casso and in Chicago, Spalaccio. There was guys that were just feared and revered, and Gotti was one of those. He was one of the biggest guys, and he was the biggest guy. Like Al Capone was the biggest guy at one time. He's just the biggest guy.
What do you think that is? Is it just ambition, or it's like
it's everything. It's ambition, talent. A lot of people think, like some people, like some guy was doing a joke about Gotti at a mic the other day. He was like, "Hey, he was a fucking murderer." So I got up after him. I'm like, he wasn't a murderer. I'm like, gangsters only kill you for two reasons: if you fuck with their money or you fuck with their women. I kill you for both those reasons.
Right.
I don't have any money. I don't have any women. But if I did, I'd kill you.
Right.
I mean, you got to be stupid to sleep with a gangster's wife or even their side piece. They'll kill you for that, and that's a rule. You don't, or if you do something like if you're selling coke and you don't pay tax. You get killed. That's the rules.
Yeah.
It's
pretty simple.
Yeah, they don't kill people.
It's interesting to hear somebody's working on a Gotti bit.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy Patera killed people just because he thought they might be rats.
Yeah, he was out of his mind.
Yeah. You said he was nice though, right?
People say he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
People say.
I know somebody who knew him.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, what else could we say about
I
Gotti?
know. I mean, there were gangsters that weren't nice guys, but there's always going to be nice people and not nice people.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's like when I first started doing comedy, some people were nice to me and some people weren't. And I remember Emma Willman was one of the first people who was really nice to me. And I always brought it up how, I always tell her, like, you were one of the first people who was nice to me. And I was like, some people that aren't nice, she goes, you're going to learn that those people are usually not that talented.
Yeah.
And it's true. If somebody there's only, I don't want to say it now because he's nice to me, but I think Mike Lawrence is talented.
Yeah.
And he was also a dick. I don't think he's that way anymore. But he was one of the exceptions of somebody who was talented and a dick. Yeah. But usually somebody was like not talented and a dick, or somebody who's talented and a sweetheart.
Right.
That's the way it was.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
And I think it was like that in the mob too.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying Gotti was talented and a sweetheart?
He was a good guy. He was well liked. I mean, really well. He was well
liked by the rest of the mob or by the people too.
He was well liked by everybody in his family, and then outside the family, they didn't like him because he killed Castellano.
Yeah.
And he was well liked in the neighborhood by people.
But he had the respect of the street guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was well liked by regular people.
His family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know
Gotti and Travolta, they both lost a son.
Yeah.
Gotti's kid.
That's
was
interesting.
killed.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Travolta's kid was retarded and he died.
No, he had autism.
Autism, yeah.
That's sad.
A theory that that he killed his own son or something.
There's a theory on YouTube about it. That's disgusting to even fucking talk about that.
Yeah.
Look at Matt. Stop looking at those notes before I kill you.
Well, I want to see if there's any legitimacy to this this conspiracy that he killed his son.
They said that the video I saw said he sold the soul to Lucifer.
So 2009, Travolta's son Jet died at 16 while on Christmas vacation in the Bahamas.
Scientologists believe in organic everything, and he didn't give him his medicine because Scientologists really believe in like natural healing and holistic care, which is like a bunch of fucking mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I believe in I believe in that stuff to a certain degree, but at a certain point he needed medicine.
Let's talk about when Gotti's son Frankie was killed. He was riding his bike in the neighborhood, and a neighbor ran him over accidentally. And actually, what happened was, so that guy ended up disappearing, and I think they found his body. I don't know, wherever. Some guys grabbed him, cracked him over the head because he killed Gotti's son. But actually, what happened was, the Gotti family was insulted that this guy, I forget his name, Frank something. Anyway, he runs over Gotti's son. Frank, Cabaza or something.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But the Gotti family was like insulted that he never personally came to pay his respects. And then but he actually knew some wise guys, and some wise guys were like, yeah, skip town, just get out of here because he's really upset. So that was kind of unfortunate.
He put his house up for sale. He's about to leave.
Yeah.
Damned if he went, damned if he didn't, right?
Right.
I mean, honestly, if I killed the Don's son, I'd fucking leave the country.
Yeah.
I would have had my wife on a plane. What did he think was going to happen?
Yeah.
At that point, you know what's going to happen. You saw The Godfather. That was, it's the 80s already.
But
How
it's
did
an
he
accident.
hit and kill him?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How do you? He must have been driving pretty recklessly.
Maybe he was on drugs or something. Yeah.
It was in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Hey.
It's tough burying a kid, man.
Hey, forget about it.
There's nothing harder than burying a kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you got to kill the guy that did it.
Did you know anyone who ever lost a kid?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I have friends that died young, but that's the hardest thing, especially for an Italian. They love their kids more than anybody. It's like, but burying a child, that's not the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to go first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah's grandmother lost 2 babies.
My mother lost 7 babies before I was born.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, 7 miscarriages.
Oh, wow.
She used to say I was a miracle child.
Yeah.
That's why, she fawned over me because,
But you have a sister, right?
Yeah, you made it.
Younger sister?
Yeah.
Jeez.
How many miscarriages before her was it?
A couple.
Wow.
My mother didn't have.
Sounds like your mom was a trooper.
Yeah, my mother was tough.
Mm.
You have the kids you're meant to have.
Right. You're supposed to be here.
I was such a dick. Like when I think about it, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't have an older. She had one that was born and died in the hospital, and I would have had an older brother, and I might not have been got a lot of attention.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the alpha that we love and know.
My mother really gave me a lot of self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. I feel like showbiz is kind of similar to the mob because it does give people something to look up to, look forward to.
John Travolta, John Gotti.
Yeah, there's something about like I did a junk job yesterday, and I went to the dump, and I got to talk to the guy who ran the dump, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know if I was going to see you again." It's like, "I hope you're doing well. What's going on?" It's like, yeah, they do kind of root for you because it is show business and the mob. It's both terrible. It's full of the worst people who are pedophiles, but it is kind of there's the fantasy of your life being better than what it is. And I think Gotti probably gave that to people. He gave people something to aspire to and look up to.
Sometimes it's when you see somebody in your neighborhood who's successful that's like, oh, maybe that could be me,
Yeah.
There was a guitarist from my neighborhood, Warren Cucurullo. He had a band in the 80s called Missing Persons, and then he started with Frank Zappa as a session musician. Then he started a band called Missing Persons, which made a gold record, and then he became the lead guitarist for Duran Duran.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, wow, he came from where I come from.
Mm.
John Sally went to the same high school as me.
Yeah.
One of the Fat Boys. Do you remember the Fat Boys, the rap group, the Fat Boys?
Yeah.
So and anybody who came from my neighborhood who made it, I just looked at them oh, they gave me hope.
Yeah.
So you could do that as a DJ.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a DJ
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
at the time.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the difference between Gotti and Sammy the Bull, his underboss. In the Gotti movie, Gotti doesn't really want to work with Sammy the Bull because he's like, oh, he's never done time. I don't trust the guy. And there seems to be a difference between Gotti and Sammy the Bull, where it's like they gave Sammy the Bull a deal. He's not in prison right now. He's alive. He's selling ecstasy in Arizona, and he just seems like a way worse guy than Gotti was.
It makes me lose respect for the government. Forget about Sammy the Bull. I mean, he's the same as Gotti. They're both gangsters, but
Right.
the government takes a guy who helps them rat on everybody, and then they give him a deal and let him be on the street. That's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you can get Gotti. You have to make a deal with a guy who killed 19 people, a guy like that, and let him be back out on the street.
Mm.
Fuck that. The government's so fucking, they're scumbags. I mean, I've been railroaded by the courts. You know, they're such fucking pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the United States government.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They have the power to do that.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
Make a deal like that. How does that work?
Like, that's why when regular people go, oh, why do you, I got a picture of John Gotti on my screensaver. I got the Warhol John Gotti.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will say to me, why do you got a murderer on your phone? I'm like, well, the government's a bunch of fucking murderers.
Right.
He's just a guy from where I grew up, and and he had style and class, and I respect him. So what?
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody who didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Castellano. But it does feel like with Gotti there was like a genuine connection between him and with the people that in the neighborhood, and with Gravano he just seems like a dead-eyed fucking psychopath.
Gotti was a guy
Like
who
he's not even
never
a good
forgot
liar,
where he
really.
came from.
Yeah.
You don't see that often in every field.
Yeah.
You know, very few people. He lived in the same neighborhood. He stayed in Ozone Park forever.
Mm-hmm.
His house isn't even like a mansion. His house was like a middle class house.
Yeah. But it doesn't even seem like Gravano was a good liar.
Nah, there was a lot of fucking contradictions. But you know, I think Gotti was a lot like Carlo Gambino,
Mm-hmm.
because Carlo Gambino lived in a working class house on Ocean Parkway.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Castellano was the opposite, right? He had a big mansion.
Yeah, well, he was the brother-in-law. I hate people who get in that way.
Yeah.
Marry the daughter. I don't want to
Okay.
say, but I knew a guy from my neighborhood. He married the
of
daughter.
who he
He married the daughter of a wise guy. And then
Uh-huh.
everybody started, like, when they sold weed, they went and give this guy money. I go, why? Because he married the fucking daughter?
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Does
Ass
that happen
kissing.
in comedy? Marrying and
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe I should marry the old lady who books the Comedy Cellar.
Marry Esty.
Yeah, maybe I should marry Esty.
yeah, that's your ticket.
Yeah, then I can get up there at midnight or whatever.
Oh man, they're giving Frank all the good spots because he's married to Esty.
You know, I got that spot right.
Yeah. Well, so yeah.
Speaking
but
of
that
Comedy
is-
Cellar, they've been passing some fucking questionable motherfuckers.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I don't even, do you know about it?
We'll talk after the
Yeah.
show. I think I know you.
It's really like at the point now where I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, what's happening?
I don't know what's going on.
What
You know what it is? This is what I did. Mike's a great comic and he has 100 credits and he's not past there yet. You know what it is? I was talking to Jay Welch about this.
Yeah.
Not about you specifically, but I think any white male, specifically out of borough, who's a little provocative and alpha, they're like, no, we're not putting him up.
Well, that's a weird thing right now. It's like people don't even want to really hear what I have to say. And I'm not complaining, but I'm saying I did a show last night. There was a woman that went up before me and a black guy that went up after me. And they both did, like, I think exponentially better than I did. And it's not even a thing that I'm like, oh, people, I'm not even mad. It's just like something's going on right now where everyone's being brainwashed by this feminist racial agenda. Am I right?
I was doing a spot.
I don't know.
I was doing a spot in Fort Greene at a really good show, like a couple weeks after Trump got elected, and
Yeah.
some black lady yelled at me, and she goes, "You know, the president says stuff like this."
Yeah.
I was
you
like,
should've-
"Oh," and that's when I knew I was in trouble.
Right. Because
Jesus
when you have a
Christ.
liberal president, it's
Yeah.
easier to.
Yeah, we gotta
do
get
like
we gotta
that.
get a president in there.
We
Like
gotta get
Jimmy
Hillary
Carter.
Hillary back. Yeah.
No, fuck Hillary.
Yeah. Well, I think that's maybe the thing. It's like now the stuff in power, it's like dark and mean, and so people want to hear. Maybe they want to hear that refreshing sort of voice of morality.
You can't even
And
go
hope.
dark at all, and it's not just
you can't be a
guys.
piece of shit.
It's not just guys.
It's on that nets.
I saw Bonnie McFarlane, who's one of my favorite comics,
Yeah.
do I don't know what late night show it was, but I was on YouTube watching her sets, and she went a little dark with about her daughter or something, and the crowd hushed.
Yeah.
But she knows how to like not make it that bad and
Yeah,
save. But like,
But it's her daughter.
Yeah, I'm like anything dark. They're like. I feel like at shows, especially in Brooklyn, they're waiting for the joke to be over so they could decide if it's okay to laugh. They're not just letting themselves relax and enjoy comedy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Do you feel like Saturday Night Fever? Let's get back to Travolta a little bit. Do you feel like Saturday Night Fever was is something that it's not gonna get made nowadays? Did you see I, Tonya?
No.
About Tonya Harding? I think you would like that.
Well, why? Because she takes a beating.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, I heard like
She gets beaten the whole movie.
I heard this like beta male comic going, "Oh, there was a scene where she gets beat up and it's played for laughs." I was like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this."
Is that true?
Is there a scene where she gets beat up and it's funny?
I mean, to me, yeah.
Dude, that would be
To me, it was.
that'd be so disarming if you just talked like that all the time.
Like a beta male?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this. I was at a mic the other day. I wasn't on stage. It was before the mic, and I was, talking shit about female comics. And some male comic goes, "I want this to stop." I was like, "Do you have a penis? Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. What were you saying?
That all you gotta do is show up with a pussy and you get a spot.
He's not wrong, folks. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. It feels like the fucking hyenas took over. Anyway, so back to Travolta. So Saturday Night Fever came out in '77, and it's like that is the reason I think that's a good story is because we do get caught up in like money and power and stuff like that. But that's a reminder that you can have a good you gotta have a good character.
Yeah.
And the important thing in life is to have good relationships with people.
They don't make movies about people anymore. I was saying the other day, I was like, why is it? I wanted to go to the movies the other night. So I Googled the movie theater that's near my house. And it was like Expendables 2, Equalizer 2, all these 3D movies, cartoons. I was like, is there any movies about people? And somebody said to me, no, they do that on TV now.
Yeah.
So if you want to see a story about people, it's on. But maybe
okay.
I want to see a story about people in the short form.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch 12 episodes.
Yeah.
I want to see a 90-minute movie about a guy who meets a girl.
Yeah.
Well, they were going to make a movie about trans people, and then Scarlett Johansson backed out.
I'm still waiting for the West Side Story La Cucarachas.
How good is that movie?
It's great. That's why I watched.
You guys haven't been listening to the show. Frank has an idea for a movie. It's a Pixar movie, and it's about the Dominican cockroaches who fight the Puerto Rican cockroaches.
They
And
battle
it's
them in
called
dancing.
They battle them in dancing. And it's called La Cucaracha.
I think this is an idea that could really catch on.
No, it is. I was thinking about it.
We get Hector Lavoe to score the movie.
He's dead, though.
Is he? So we get little Louis Vega, his nephew. I know.
Wait, Lou Vega is Hector Lavoe's nephew?
Louis Vega.
Louis Vega, okay.
The greatest DJ that's alive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hector Lavoe's dead. But anyway, let me ask you this. What is it about dancing? Like, because men don't really dance, right?
You get a lot of pussy when you dance.
Yeah.
I remember, what's funny? I was always bad at sports.
Do.
I was always bad at sports. And then when disco dancing started, I was good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be out at the block parties. In fact, there was one night it was pouring rain, 1978, it's pouring rain. I was out there, 11 years old, dancing with like divorced women all night long. And people were like, what are you doing? I'm like, they love me. I was like 35-year-old ladies. I was it was in my glory.
Yeah.
My friends were like, yo, can you teach me some steps? Can you teach me some steps? I'm like, yeah, now you want me to teach you. You never showed me how to hit the fucking ball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I never knew how to dance, and I'm
I love
jealous
dancing.
of guys like you. I mean, like for a guy to dance and then have that be
It's
the
still
reason
like that.
they
Like
get
if I
the
went
girl,
out to a club right now with all my buddies, I would probably be the only one on the dance floor because no guys know how to dance. Most guys don't. And if they do, they're
just
bad.
you, no women.
No, it'd be me and all the women. Me, the women, and the fags. We'd be on the dance floor.
Right. Well, Travolta's career kind of declined in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
He did, what happened in the 80s?
It's so hard to live up to what he did. He did Saturday Night Fever and Grease, the two biggest movies of all time. Then he did a couple of stinkers.
Yeah.
But actually, he did a few.
What were the stinkers?
Moment by Moment.
Okay.
Two of a kind.
Perfect.
Okay.
No, but he
Staying
did a
Alive.
couple.
Now, he didn't really
He
come
did the
back until.
sequel.
But 94 with Pulp Fiction was his big sort of comeback, right?
However, there's a few good movies in there. Blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Brian De
Who's
Palma
Talking.
film. Blowout is great.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Urban Cowboy was a good movie.
What's that about?
It's about when they ride the mechanical bull
Okay.
with Deborah Winger.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Do you think he tried to jerk off those massage
No,
people?
No.
Are you sure? I mean, Scientology
Are you sure?
probably has like a
I love
file.
how anybody.
File,
You know,
yeah.
you can make a rumor about anybody. I bet you if I make it, they're gonna go, "Oh, Frank tried to suck somebody off in the green room."
If you were part of like a Scientology thing where they just extract your deepest, darkest secrets and like file it away.
Well, I'm never gonna be a Scientologist because I think they're fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a girl to Scientology.
You did?
Yeah, my ex is involved with them.
Oh yeah. Hey, R.I.P.
I went to jail for that shit.
John Travolta's in it.
John Travolta's a great man. Leave him alone.
But I mean, he's in the Scientologist.
I think he's the greatest movie star.
How do you reckon?
Really?
Yeah, you ever see a picture of John Travolta in
You
1977?
think still?
Oh, yeah,
You think
I've got-
still?
I don't think anybody was that.
You wouldn't
fucking,
fuck that guy?
John Travolta
Yeah,
was
you're right.
so fucking beautiful
Yeah.
and soulful.
He's got like a nice '80s women's haircut here.
John
Yeah.
Travolta-
Only a gay man can be this beautiful.
No, he's not gay. There's a lot of beautiful straight men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Liberace. Like
No, who's straight and beautiful? There's a lot.
who's straight and beautiful?
Let's
Matt
see
Dillon
here.
when he was young,
Yeah, Matt Dillon.
he was handsome. Mickey Rourke.
Uh-huh.
2 examples.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right.
I guess you could say Ryan Gosling in this generation.
So how do you reconcile him being in Scientology and being?
Well, he went to Hollywood and he was a confused, lonely guy, and he got taken in.
Now he's just in too deep.
I think he really believes in the doctrine.
Oof. All right.
Some people believe in what they believe in.
Mhm. What do you like the most about John Gotti?
You know what I like? I was telling Matt when I walked in. I love his spirit.
Uh-huh.
He was on his way to jail, and he was walking with a strut and a smile,
Yeah.
as if everything was okay. He was so fucking positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time he was ever upset was when he talked to his kid in prison.
Well, afterwards,
Right.
once he was in there a few years,
Right.
they broke his spirit.
Yeah.
The government, pieces of shit. You know, if
Hell
John
yeah.
Gotti never went to jail, gentrification never would have happened.
You think?
You think he would have put up with these kids with their fucking wardrobe? He would have been like, "What the fuck are they wearing?" He wouldn't have liked it.
Get out of my neighborhood. What's that? A fucking unicycle?
John
You
Gotti was
piece
the
of shit.
man.
Yeah. What about the idea that like he kept the neighborhood safe when
That's
he was
another
there?
thing.
Yeah, but wasn't Queens way worse in the 80s than it is now?
No, well, I mean certain neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I mean it's safe now because it's just everybody. It's just there was a turnover. Everybody died. Everybody moved away, and all these like soft people moved in, and everything. Things are better financially.
Mhm.
You know, like the
You don't think him keeping the neighborhood safe, that wasn't just like a rumor that people told
no,
their
he
kids
kept the
and they
neighborhood safe. If somebody did something, he intercepted it.
Yeah.
Like there was stories. I don't
More
know.
like petty
I don't know
crime and
anything.
stuff?
I don't know anything particular, but there were stories where like ladies would get their pocketbook robbed, and he would get their pocketbook back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to that guy?
Yeah.
Like as soon as you get it back, you're like, oh, somebody's like being hit in the head right now with a baseball bat.
He was so fucking charismatic. I love like seeing pictures of him walking down the street.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing about
Yeah.
him. It's like it kind of seemed like there was nothing that could get in his way or affect him or like
Not a hair out of place.
yeah,
Unbelievable. $4,000 suit.
hand painted ties.
Yeah.
Right? There was something. Do you think there's something about him where it's like he kind of liked being in jail, or he liked the idea that he
didn't
wasn't
like-
going to surrender, he wasn't going to give anybody up? I mean, he's the boss,
Well,
so it's
yeah,
like they want to
he
get him.
didn't rat anybody out, but I don't think he liked being in jail. They
Dying in jail with cancer.
yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Mhm.
He went out a very disgraceful way. The government fucked him.
Yeah.
And really, was he really public enemy number one? Was he really that bad? Did you really have to treat him like that? You think if they arrested Osama bin Laden,
Wasn't like one out every $5 though in the economy going through the mob or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how you impress Deb. 1 out of every $5.
Let me ask you this: if you
In
could have
America.
a day in one of those guys' lives, you pick any day, any at any time period. Would you pick Gotti or Travolta, and what day would you pick?
I'd pick Travolta the night that Saturday Night Fever makes its premiere.
Yeah.
That
That
must have been
would've been fun.
amazing. That
Yeah.
movie changed the world.
He got so much pussy that he wasn't interested in.
No, I don't. I think he's straight.
Yeah, he brought back disco for Frank. He's
Disco's
like the
still around. What do you think?
Disco Christ.
Disco is still around. What do you think house music is?
Right.
I think that dance music has held up a lot more. Like house music is great, and before there was disco, there was boogie, then there was freestyle, then there was house music. But rap music is really degenerated. You listen to this fucking crap? Like Kendrick
yeah.
Lamar?
You don't like Kendrick Lamar?
I don't know what the hell. I don't know even how to classify it. What the hell
You don't
is
think
that?
he's saying? You don't think he's saying like good, like positive stuff?
What the hell is he saying? I don't even
I
know
think
what
a
he's
lot
saying.
of that new rap is pretty bad. All that like YouTube rap is no.
I don't
is
even
no
know what he's
good.
talking about.
He's talking about social issues.
I can't even understand
He
him.
made a song about how he loves his wife.
LL Cool J is my guy.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Ghostface Killer.
yeah.
You know, Tupac. I don't know what Kendrick Lamar's talking
I
about.
guess I feel
He's
like
not even
it's
rapping, he's
degenerated
singing,
for-
like
do you
he's-
like Drake?
No, I hate everything.
I can't.
I hate
get
it
in-
all.
Yeah, I can't get into anything that he does.
And it's just like somebody said to me today, a black kid said to me, he goes, "Oh, you know what? Lyrically, this isn't the heyday, but it's the producer's heyday." I'm like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah,
You ever hear Marley Marl and fucking Mantronics? That was a producer's heyday, the 80s.
right.
This ain't a producer's
The
heyday.
producer, what, like beats and stuff?
Yeah, the beats were way better
Well,
in
the
the 80s.
beats are yeah.
Those are two
The beats were
references
better
that
in the
went
early
over.
2000s.
The beats right now are terrible.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I don't know. Well, anyway,
Is
yeah.
that it?
What
Any,
about?
yeah,
did
go
you
ahead.
think that was funny when Travolta mispronounced that name at the Oscars?
You know what? They focus on everything he does. They're trying to make a buffoon out of him. I don't know why.
Right,
They pick on him. They're like,
Sure
"Oh,
do.
Travolta might have been drunk. Travolta might be gay.
Dude,
Leave the guy
those-
alone.
right.
He's 60.
Adele
Let him live.
Hazim.
You know how much joy he brought to people's lives?
Adele Hazim.
And you know something? He is such a nice guy. You ever see John
Exactly.
Travolta being interviewed? He's such a fucking sweet, gentle man. The way they fucking talk, they you know, the media just likes to shit on fucking people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But you know who they don't shit on? Any fucking woman.
Right.
Every woman is a
Actually,
fuck.
Travolta, like, didn't he like fly supplies to the earthquake in Haiti or
Yeah,
something?
he does a lot of good
personally? He does
things.
a lot of good things. Actually, on Oprah's final episode, she brought the studio audience on a trip, and Travolta flew the plane. He's a great man.
I love Travolta. You know who I love? John Turturro.
He's a great actor.
He's one of my
he's
favorites.
great. He's a great actor. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's close this episode with a little conversation about struggle, because I feel like, you know, Gotti struggled. He was from a poor family. That guy from Saturday Night Fever, he kind of struggled, you know.
Yeah.
And I think life does that to you sometimes. But I think it's also
I think it's good
also
for you.
good for you. Yeah.
You know why? Like I don't want to. I'm not trying to make myself a martyr, but I struggled to get somewhere in the comedy game.
Yeah.
But what's happening is I'm getting better and better and better as a writer.
Right.
Where if I was taken for a ride 4 years ago, I'd probably be a lazy road comic.
Right.
But I'm getting better, and that's Mark Norman took a long time to make it. And that's why he's so fucking good.
Mhm.
And Mike
Yeah.
Lawrence took a long time to make it. That's why he's so fucking good.
Mhm.
I think the harder it is for you, the better you end up.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Right.
That's a great mantra to have anyway.
I believe
And
that.
I feel
yeah.
like when things are too easy for you, it just makes you kind of like soft and complacent, and it's no good. Actually, Tennessee Williams got some success after he wrote The Glass Menagerie, and he said after that happened, he said the sort of life which I had previous to this a popular success was one that required endurance, a life of clawing and scratching, but it was a good life because it was a sort of for which the human organism is created. I was not aware of how much vital energy had gone into this struggle until the struggle was removed. This was security at last. I sat down and looked about me and was suddenly very depressed. And it's like, yeah, that is like what we're built for. We're built to like go out every
we all
day and
dream
fucking
about
earn,
playing.
baby.
We dream about playing theaters and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the guys who are at that level want to come back and do a bar show, and they're wondering what's going on with the comics in Bushwick.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Louis and Chris
And
Rock.
Burr
I remember
even.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I want to be around the guys again.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But I still rather be a theater comic.
Yeah.
I remember like we were hanging out with some friends when Louis C.K. said that he wanted to do some like Bushwick shows, and they're like, we should put together a video pitching Louis C.K. and put
Yeah,
it
come perform
online."
for
And
5
it's just
people.
Like, fuck.
Come to Sid's Gold Rush. What's that place?
It was like
Oh, yeah.
inside somebody's apartment.
Brooklyn sucks.
Yeah, it sure does. Anyway, I mean that's the problem with comedy too. There's too many rich kids that have sort of infiltrated it. But you said that about me one time. You were like, you had it pretty good, and you like look for a struggle.
You did have
I
it
still
good.
do.
You like moving furniture. You think it's fun.
Yeah, I do.
He thinks you have a rich dad.
It does all right. I had a retarded brother though.
Yeah, that's hard.
Anyway, all right. Well, You want to read a listener email and we'll call it a show?
Sure.
Let's
do
see.
it.
This guy wrote, with all due respect, Mike, I love the show. The guests you bring on are always great. The episode with Sean Donnelly and Felix were particularly entertaining. What I'm trying to say is please make sure you always have guests. Matt is the type of producer who is best when he's neither seen nor heard. When is someone seen on a podcast? Guests limit the opportunities Matt would otherwise have to slow down the show. His constant exclamations of shock, genuine or fabricated, really ruin the riffs you and other guests get into. How much money do we need to Venmo you or contribute to the Patreon so you can hire a producer from Home Depot and replace the highly sensitive one you have on now? Matt, I want to see you succeed. You have funny riffs occasionally, but you have got to stop audibly gasping after Mike's hot takes. But whatever, I'm a nobody, so none of this matters. Anyway, the ads are hilarious. Blah, blah, blah. He thinks we should talk about moonshine. If you guys ever take the show on the road, consider Chicago. You can talk about all the Illinois governors and Chicago politicians that are currently in jail or were previously in jail. With all due respect to the boss, JW.
I want to go to Chicago.
Yeah, it's a great comedy town.
Do you think this podcast will ever have like a stand-up version?
I would like it to. I would
Come Town
like
has
to,
a stand-up show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you see
they
in the
do a
future
live
there,
show.
Mike?
I would like to go to different cities and like talk about the crime, crime.
Can
from
you
that
ever do
town and have guest comics on and have a guest?
Why
and
don't
have
you
few
do
different guests?
a sit-down stand-up show at the stand? You know, I was telling Matt, when I go on other podcasts, the fans of this show listen to that podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I went on Greg and Rob's podcast. They never got so many downloads in their life.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, people like you. You gotta have
It's
your own.
awesome.
You gotta have your own show now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All
right.
I'm gonna.
Well, this episode today was a little thrown together. I
came here in the rain.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
I was fucking hitting the roof of my car as I got over here. I was like,
yeah, you were going through
I
some
was-
stuff.
I'm ready to fucking blow my fucking brains out. And I don't understand because like this morning I woke up, Deborah was there. I don't want to be gross, but I fucking put it in her, and I was like really happy. And then I went to sit down to do work because I have this packet I'm working on. I just like felt like stressed and miserable.
You had to redo it, right?
I had to redo it because my fucking laptop got stolen.
That's pretty insane. That's a tizzy.
But I'm ready to fucking kill her sometimes because like the packet is late. It was due on the 15th. Sorry to bitch, but
For what
whatever.
show?
It's the end of the show for SNL, which I
Ugh.
think I know, but it's like whatever. I know the fucking I'm friends with the head writer, so it's like I have to do a packet,
A lot of shitty comics write for that show.
Yeah. You talk about Julio because I think he's funny.
I like him personally. I'm tired of hearing what a genius he is. He's not a fucking genius. And then that broad with the big calves. They look like bowling pins. Why is Nimish Patel there? Was he bringing cigars for everybody?
God, man,
No, I like Nimish.
you need
He's
your
a
own
nice guy.
show.
No, I like him.
Yeah,
But who else works there? Anybody? Just give me one of this. Give me a trans. Give me a Jew. Give me 5 chicks.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. They just fired a girl writer though.
that show hasn't been funny since '87.
Yeah. You know what's funny? A lot of those writers on that show. Watch, I just fucking don't tell Lauren or Colin that I said this, but a lot of the writers on that show are like academics. They're not even funny people.
Yeah. They
Like,
should let
I'm
me write
telling
for
you,
the
like,
show.
No, I'm telling you, like they just fired a writer, and I was looking at this person's Twitter, and I'm like, this is like a fucking journalist.
I'm an accomplished playwright.
You are?
One of my plays was listed as best
Did
play.
you do a packet? Why don't you do a packet?
I don't know. How am I going to get a packet to
Yeah,
those
how
fucking
do
guys?
you do a
just
packet?
send it. You just send it in. I'll give you the. It's like
I want-
Adam,
first
it's
of
like
all,
Adam something at NBC.
even if they hire- even if I-
There we go.
Even if I sent in a packet and they thought it was great, I would not get along with the staff.
Yeah.
They would hate me because I would talk like this.
Hey, you got fucking big calves.
Be like, get some skinny girls in here. Hire Kieran Margolis. I need some eye candy in here.
Oh my god!
I'm not coming to work until you hire Kieran Margolis. I got to look at somebody pretty.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's the show
We
for
got
the
some
week.
ideas on how to improve SNL.
I got
yeah.
a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
They should hire an urban black guy. They
yeah.
used to have Tracy Morgan.
They got Sam J.
You know who they need? Rashad Bashir.
Well, who's
He's-
that?
He's a black guy.
They got Chris Red. He's funny.
You know who's great? Cyrus McQueen. He would kill in there because
Yeah.
he does Obama. He
They
does
got
everything.
Leslie Jones.
She looks like she just walked out of the sea.
Chris Red's funny though, and Sam J is really fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
I saw her do stand up the other night. She was great.
Everybody
Really?
sucks.
Yeah. Sam J's good.
You know who should be on there?
But that should be the
Amber
writing.
Nelson.
No, that should be
Amber Nelson should be on SNL. How come she's not on there?
I don't know, but that should be the writing staff. It should be all urban black people. But instead, they hire these fucking they hire like writers from fucking The Intercept or whatever.
Everybody that works on SNL can kiss my ass.
Yeah, kiss my ass too. Suck my dick.
I think Lorne Michaels senile. Senile old fuck.
That's the show, everybody. You want to plug anything?
I'll be at the 6 o'clock mic at the Creek.
All right.
There it is.
All right, everybody. Email us, sitdownpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Support our Patreon if you want.
Thanks for everybody that's been reviewing.
We're doing all right. We do a lot of work. But yeah, thank you. The guys, the tweets and the emails kind of like keep us going because, you do this show. You're sitting here on a
Rainy day.
on Matt's couch that has diarrhea all over it because he won't get it cleaned.
Yeah.
And you're just like, is anybody listening to this? But like to get feedback and stuff, it really means a lot. Also, shout out to Stephanie. I met her at Skankfest. She's a listener. She likes the show.
What does she look like?
She's like short and blonde.
Is she attractive?
She's like a fan. Yeah, she's all right. But we do have women. No, she's attractive.
Is there any
girl,
hot fans?
Not of this show. No.
Everybody, your Instagram is
what? hot girls. They pour themselves a glass of rosé and they listen to Frank's talk about what girls have big calves.
What's your Instagram?
The real Frankie T.
Yeah, go over there if you're a hot fan.
If you want to diddle yourself to something.
If you're between the ages of 18 and 24 and you weigh less than 115 pounds, the real Frankie T. At Instagram.
Hell yeah.
Send me your pictures.
There you go.
How many pictures am I going to get? 0?
Maybe. Who knows? You got to throw it out there,
You know who I like? Sarah Hyland from Modern Family. If she's listening.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
I'll take you out for a slice.
I'm sure she is.
How old is she? She's the younger one?
She's like 25.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Later.